Good evening, everyone. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams with your Bio News Now evening update. The time is currently 8:34 p.m. I promised a few hours earlier that I would make an 8:30 p.m. update because I wanted to talk about if there were any changes to any weather alerts that are in effect for our region, as well as take a look at the latest, traffic updates and stuff of that nature. We still have that First Alert weather day continuing into the overnight hours because what's happening is we still have some blowing snow in our region. The winds are slowly dying, that's the good news, but we'll still have blowing snow in the Southern Valley and Lakes Country until the early overnight hours, and that's because, again, we're dealing with a strong wind gust during the overnight hours. And thereafter, heading into Monday morning, Arctic air is pushing into our region, leading to dangerously low wind chills across our region. So let's get right to the forecast to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Again, that First Alert weather day continuing to Monday morning because, well, we're dealing with some impacts across the region. And again, we got that blowing snow until the early overnight hours, which could lead to some impacts across our region. Again, mainly those impacts are in Lakes Country and the Southern Valley because that's where the winds will stick around the longest. And then heading into Monday morning, we're dealing with wind chills in the 30s below zero. You can see that as of 8:35 p.m., the temperature is actually 5 below in the Fargo-Moorhead area, but it feels much colder because of the winds pushing through the area. Now, let's take a look at the latest road conditions. We still have no travel advised for portions of northeast North Dakota and for portions of the Red River Valley, in Richland County, for example, under a no travel advised. The good news is the the portion of I-29 between Fargo and Grand Forks, that's opened up. It's under no travel advised, so it's not a good idea to travel on I-29 between Fargo and Grand Forks, but that road is back open. So that is the good news. That means conditions have improved somewhat on I-29 between Fargo and Grand Forks. However, I-29 between Grand Forks and the Canadian border, that is still closed down. We also have some road closures still in effect for portions, for some of the roads between Hollock and Ada, for example, in northwest Minnesota. So parts of I-29 and parts of northwest Minnesota's roads are still closed down. That means avoid those areas. Meanwhile, we have no travel advised for northeast North Dakota and for portions of the Red River Valley, such as in Richland County. So basically, if you're still in the Red River Valley, still not really a good idea to travel tonight because of the blowing snow risk over the next several hours. Also, still have some patchy ice out in the James River Valley and Devils Lake Basin and in parts of central Minnesota, thanks to the the blowing snow that came through, thanks to the snow showers from earlier this morning and the blowing snow throughout the day. So what does that look like in terms of traffic cams? Well, Pemmida's doing good. Pemmida's doing okay. The snow has more or less, there's some patchy blowing snow, but it's not as extreme as it was just a few hours earlier. Meanwhile, Donaldson and Warren are still seeing some low visibility due to that blowing snow, and pretty much what's happening is the Northern Valley is seeing visibility improving, if only slowly, because the winds are weaker there. But the Southern Valley, meanwhile, is still having some low visibility due to that blowing snow. Taking a look at our Dakota Magic Weather Cam, you can see visibility is looking okay there, so that is the good news. However, as I mentioned, the reason why we still have some of those road closures on I-29 and in northwest Minnesota is because, look at this, we have winds still coming in from the north. In the Southern Valley, they're generally coming in from the north and northwest at around 25 to 30 miles per hour, gusts in the 35 to 45 mile per hour range. For example, a sustained wind of 29 and a gust of 36 in Fargo versus a sustained wind of 25 and a gust of 36 miles per hour in Jamestown. So if you're in the Southern Valley, you're still likely to see that blowing snow well into the early overnight hours. Because of that blowing snow, we still have some low visibility out in portions of the Red River Valley, such as in Fergus Falls and Alexandria. So if you're in the Red River Valley and parts of northwest Minnesota, it's definitely not a good idea to travel tonight as we continue seeing that blowing snow in the Southern Valley. Now, in central and eastern North Dakota, visibility has actually improved big time. So that is the good news there. it should be a little safer if you have to travel in eastern North Dakota tonight. But at the bare minimum, still keep the VNN First Alert weather app handy if you have to do so for eastern North Dakota. Furthermore, our satellite radar shows cloudy skies, but all the snow that we saw earlier this morning, the snow showers have stopped falling. We're actually looking dry as we head into this evening. Winter weather alerts still in effect. We still have a blizzard warning for the Red River Valley until 12 a.m. This got extended a couple hours earlier. This was extended to last until 12 a.m. And it's kind of like what I suspected. We would see some weather alerts getting extended because of that wind pattern continuing until the early overnight hours. Meanwhile, I think the winter weather advisory in the James River Valley, that should expire on time. It should expire at 9 o'clock, so that is a good news there. But like I mentioned, we'll continue seeing strong northwesterly flow in the southern valley and lakes country over the next few hours. By midnight, the blowing snow situation should at least lessen significantly, if not stop altogether, in the northern valley, because wind gusts will be below 30 miles per hour. Down in the southern valley and lakes country, though, I'm thinking wind gusts will be at or above 30 miles per hour by midnight. So we'll still at least see some isolated pockets of blowing snow, even as that blizzard warning expires. And then after lakes country, we'll continue seeing some strong wind gusts up until early Monday morning when the winds die down. So in portions of lakes country, we could see wind gusts whipping up that snow on the ground for the next several hours. Put another way, in Fargo, after midnight, wind gusts will drop below 30 miles per hour, and by your Monday morning commute, just looking at a standard breeze coming in from the northwest. Fergus Falls, though, the wind gusts stick around a bit longer. Wind gusts will probably still be around 30 miles per hour by 3 a.m., but by 6 a.m., they'll drop to 24 miles per hour. So basically, I'm thinking that Fergus Falls will see that isolated blowing snow threat just a little bit longer. But there is some good news, though. As I mentioned, first of all, the winds will continue dying down over the next several hours. It's not as windy this evening as it was earlier this afternoon, and we'll continue seeing those winds dying down. But more importantly, our first alert forecast shows that cloud cover that we've seen throughout the day breaking up as we head into the overnight hours. By Monday morning, we're looking at partly sunny skies across the region. However, in return for dealing with that partly sunny sky, we're trading it in for some bitter cold. We actually still have a cold weather advisory in effect for our entire region. And earlier, the cold weather advisory actually expanded southward into the rest of southeast North Dakota. Southeast North Dakota will see those cold weather advisories until about 10 a.m., whereas the Red River Valley, northeast North Dakota, and northwest Minnesota, what I'm circling with this arrow here, they'll see those cold weather advisories until midday. And that's because, well, we're fully entrenched in that Arctic air mass that's leading to sub-zero temperatures across our entire region. And we'll still be under that Arctic air mass well into Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning as well. So look at that, sub-zero temperatures across our entire region. And because of those winds, the wind chills are in the 20s and 30s below zero. Those are wind chills that can cause frostbite in as little as 10 minutes. Let's take a look at our wind chill forecast to show you what I mean. Again, wind chills will be in the 20s to low 30s overnight into your Monday morning commute. Now, we see those wind chills improve, quote unquote, by the afternoon hours, but we'll still see wind chills in the 20s, but in the teens below zero for Monday afternoon. In terms of our regional forecast, I'm thinking an air temperature of 10 below and a wind chill of 32 below for Devil's Lake versus 11 below and 32 below for Grafton. Meanwhile, in northwest Minnesota, that's where we'll see the lowest wind chills. That's where the most cold will be centered at, so that's where the lowest wind chills and the lowest air temperature will be at. Thinking 18 below and 38 below for Roseau, 18 below and 37 below for Waldet. Down south, wind chills will be in the 20s below zero in southeast North Dakota. In Lakes Country, wind chills will be in the upper 20s to low 30s below zero with an air temperature in the teens below zero. So it's going to be cold out there. By tomorrow afternoon, air temperature will climb above zero across most areas, but we'll still see wind chills in the teens to low 20s below zero. And then Tuesday morning is going to be cold too. Wind chills back in the 20s below zero. So just to recap everything, still dealing with that bitter cold for Tuesday morning. Monday morning, first alert weather day continuing into Monday morning because of that dangerous cold across the region, and also likely because we'll see some isolated pockets of blowing snow in the southern valley and lakes country up until the early overnight hours, which could lead to some isolated travel impacts early overnight. Can't rule out a few slick roads for your Monday morning commute too. So our first little weather day continues into Monday morning, but by Monday afternoon, conditions should improve. We're looking at partly sunny skies across the region, so that's the good news. And then we're looking at a few more snow showers Tuesday and Wednesday. Could lead to some light snow accumulation across the region, so we'll keep an eye on upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday. Towards the end of the week, we are First Alert tracking another Arctic air mass that will lead to sub-zero temperatures across the region on Friday and Saturday, and likely even Sunday too. So, and then that cold trend continues well into next week. So yeah, pretty active week ahead of us. Once this First Alert weather day expires Monday morning, we're still looking at an active week ahead of us. Definitely keep the VNN First Alert weather app handy as we get towards the end of the week. And definitely for your Monday morning commute, because of all the slick roads left behind by the blowing snow and the the slick spots due to the snow on the ground, as well as the dangerously low wind chills that can, if you make sure to bundle up, make sure to wear a few layers to protect yourself from the cold. You know the drill by now. Basically, make sure to wear a couple of layers to protect yourself from the cold. Now I'm going to get off of here. The time is currently 8:45, and Valley News Live at 9 should start within the next 15 minutes. So I'll be on Valley News Live at 9 and 10, so be sure to tune in to watch those shows. And I've also been giving periodic updates on the VNN First Alert weather app, so be sure to tune into those as well. In the meantime, I'm going to get off of here. Have a safe Sunday night and a good Monday morning and afternoon.